Have you ever just sat there, doing nothing special, but still felt kinda off? Not really sad, not happy either, just this weird empty vibe you can't quite explain? You grab your phone, scroll through socials, play some music, watch motivational videos, but nothing really helps. Then you start wondering, why can't I just feel happy like normal? What most people don't realize is this state isn't because something's wrong with your life, it's because of how your brain is operating. Your brain isn't designed to keep you happy all the time. Its main job is to react quickly to your environment to keep you safe. So when there's no clear signal, it can fall into this in-between state, low on positive emotion. That's why trying to fix your mood by changing external things often doesn't work. The issue isn't that you need something better to happen, it's how your brain reacts in those first few seconds when the feeling shows up. If that initial reaction isn't adjusted, that empty feeling can stick around and drain your energy. The good news? This state can shift really fast. Once you understand how your brain responds, you can step in and change it directly. No need to wait for your situation to improve. So that not happy, not sad feeling isn't the end. It's actually the starting point where you can take control and reset your state. The core message of the video flips the usual mindset. You don't have to wait for life to get better to feel better. Your brain can actually switch into a more positive state in about 15 seconds without solving any problems, forcing positive thinking, or relying on outside motivation. Most people believe emotions come from circumstances, that something good has to happen first before they feel good. But your brain doesn't work like that. It reacts to signals in the moment first, then creates the emotion. So if you can change the input signals, you can shift your emotional state almost instantly. The 3 tricks mentioned are simple ways to directly influence your brain's initial reaction. Instead of trying to control emotions through thinking or waiting for your situation to improve, you adjust from the inside through your body, how you label your emotions, and small actions. The key takeaway: you don't need a big change to feel better. Just a small adjustment at the right moment can shift your entire state. Once you understand this, you stop feeling controlled by your emotions and start realizing you can actually control them in a quick, practical way. A key idea here is that your brain's reaction is what creates totally different experiences for different people. Imagine 2 people going through the same rough day, same traffic jam, same work pressure, same problems. But by the end of the day, one still feels heavy and drained, while the other has already bounced back. The difference isn't the situation, it's how their brain reacted in those first few seconds. Your brain doesn't wait for logical thinking before deciding how you feel. It reacts fast, almost automatically, based on the initial signals it receives. And if that first reaction is negative, it can trigger a chain of negative emotions that you might not even notice happening. That's why sometimes your mood drops out of nowhere, and you can't really explain it. The important part is this: that reaction isn't fixed. You can step in and change it. Once you understand that emotions are just the result of a reaction chain, you stop feeling stuck in them. With the right move at the right moment, you can cut off the chain before the negativity spreads. In other words, you don't need to control your whole life to feel better, you just need to control how your brain reacts in those first moments. If this sounds like you, just say "me" and start taking control of your emotions from today. Trick 1. Your emotions go both ways, outside, inside too. This trick is based on a key idea most people miss. Emotions don't just come from the inside out, they also go from the outside in. Your brain isn't only creating emotions, it's constantly reading signals from your body to decide how you feel. And your face? That's one of the strongest signals. Just small tweaks, slightly raising your eyebrows, relaxing your jaw, and a subtle half smile, no need to grin big, can send a clear message to your brain: I'm safe, everything's okay. Once your brain gets that signal, it automatically adjusts your internal chemistry, reducing stress hormones and boosting feel-good ones. What's crazy is how fast this happens within seconds. That's because your brain reacts to physical signals way faster than logical thinking. You don't need to convince yourself or force positivity, you just change the signal and your emotions follow. A common mistake is waiting until you feel better before changing behavior. But it actually works the other way around. Change your body first, then your feelings shift. Once you get this, you can switch your state anytime with small, simple moves. Trick 2. Label the emotion to break the loop. When emotions spike, stress, anxiety, overwhelm, your brain flips into reaction mode. You basically stop thinking clearly and start looping negative thoughts on autopilot. The simple fix? Name it. I'm stressed. I'm anxious. I'm overwhelmed. That's it. No need to analyze or fix anything right away. The moment you label the emotion, your brain shifts from emotional processing to logical processing. You move from being inside the emotion to observing it. The feeling doesn't disappear, but it loses intensity. It's like being in the middle of a storm versus watching it from inside a house. The storm is still there, but your experience is completely different. The best part? It's fast and simple. You don't need long techniques or deep thinking. Just one sentence at the right moment can help you regain control almost instantly. Trick 3. Use small wins to flip your state. This is the fastest way to create a positive feeling from the inside. Most people think they need a big achievement to feel good or motivated, but your brain doesn't work like that. It actually responds to signs of progress, even tiny ones happening right now. All it takes is a simple action that takes less than 15 seconds, like taking a deep breath, drinking some water, fixing your posture, or finishing a small task. Your brain reads that as progress and releases dopamine, which boosts your mood, focus, energy, and motivation. The key idea: don't wait for motivation to act. Action creates motivation. That's why starting always feels the hardest, but once you begin, everything gets easier. This method is especially useful when you feel stuck, low energy, or don't know where to start. You don't need big changes or complicated plans. Just one small move at the right moment can reactivate your positive state. Why combining all three matters. The real value isn't in each trick alone, it's in stacking them together into a full response system. When you're feeling stressed, unmotivated, or just off, instead of getting dragged by your emotions, you can step in and shift the whole process quickly. How to apply all 3 steps: quick reset mode. First, adjust your facial expression to send a safe signal to your brain. This is the fastest way to calm your nervous system without overthinking anything. Then, name your emotion to shift from reaction mode into observation mode. At that point, you're no longer fully controlled by the feeling, you have some distance from it. Finally, take a small action to create a sense of progress, trigger dopamine, and restart your motivation. When you run these 3 steps back to back, they create a synchronized shift. Your body relaxes, your mind clears up, and your energy starts coming back. And the key thing? This change doesn't depend on your external situation improving. You don't need to solve the problem right away. You can still feel better first. In less than a minute, you can move from a negative state to a more stable one. And if you repeat this often, your brain starts building a new pattern. Instead of sinking into negativity, it learns to adjust faster each time. In other words, you don't need to control everything in your life. You just need to control how you respond in those key moments. And that alone is enough to change your daily experience. The core message of all this is simple but powerful. Happiness isn't something you have to wait for or chase outside. It's a state you can actively switch on from within. Your brain already has all the tools you need. The only question is whether you know how to use them. Once you understand how to send safety signals, step back from your emotions, and create small wins, you stop relying completely on external situations to feel better. This completely changes how you see emotions. Instead of thinking you need everything to be okay before you can feel okay, you realize that just a few small adjustments at the right moment can shift your state almost instantly. No forcing positivity, no solving every problem, just working directly with how your brain reacts. These methods aren't long-term habits that take forever to build. They're like quick switches you can flip anytime you need. And once you know exactly how to use those switches, you won't stay stuck in negative states for long anymore. Even more importantly, the more you practice this, the more your brain gets used to switching states quickly. Over time, this doesn't just help you feel better in the moment, it builds a long-term ability to manage your emotions more effectively. Want more simple, practical insights like this? Just say next.